Okay guys, this is a sarsasp made by sarsilmaz out of Turkey. They're imported by EAA under the name SAR Arms. It is a gas-driven gun. You can switch, here's your markings on it, for heavy loads, light loads. A lot of people have been knocking this gun because they can't get it to cycle. That's a piece of junk because there's absolutely no plastic parts in this gas gun except for right the very end plug, which try to find one nowadays that doesn't have plastic there. This does have a break-in period. I've found if you'll wind these springs a little bit to loosen them off, they have real close tolerance new out of the box. I bought this one on Gunbroker from a guy that said, oh, it won't cycle birdshot. I think I paid $200 for it. And I bought it for pig hunting to shoot. These guns were made for NATO, is what I've read. They're made for shooting double-aught buck, that kind of stuff, heavy rounds. And one of the problems is it is a smart shotgun. It knows if you've pulled the trigger or not. That if you have one in the shell and haven't pulled the trigger, you can jack it out and it'll kick that one out without reloading the next one. Unless you hit this little button right down here on the bottom, and that will allow the next round to come in if you want it to. If not, the main gripe is people don't understand the gun. You have to train with this gun. It's made like a military Benelli M. I think it's the M4. I'm not certain on that. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments on that one. But it is a smart gun. And that is so you can jack one out, put a slug in real quick, hit your bolt release, boom, and then you can throw another slug up in there if you need. With the pump gun, you usually lose 2 rounds before you get your slugs in. I guess there's a learning curve on this gun, and from what I've read, a lot of guys are, it's double feeding on me. Well, it will if you're not operating it correctly. If you're hitting the wrong button at certain times. I've not had any trouble with mine personally because I know how to run it. And it took me a while to figure it out, but it's just a learning curve on the gun. Not a problem with the gun. It won't cycle light loads for about. Mine's just now starting to take lighter birds, like number 6s, 6-shot, it'll shoot those, 7.5s, a high-powered 7.5 it'll do, but that Walmart stuff, it's still not taking it yet. It probably will in the future. It's just mainly this springs, when they build these Turkish-made guns, they are tight when you get them. And I usually recommend counter winding this spring a little bit just to loosen it up, and that did help me quite a bit on when I first got it. It lightened it up quite a bit, so made the gun function on lighter loads. And you want to make sure your gas, you have this facing the right way for heavy load, light load. If you're shooting light loads, you want it set for light load. And you want to make sure your gas string's in there. That'll also jack up your cycling issues. But I have not had any problems with this gun except for the Walmart estate, just the minimal, bird shot for shooting trap and stuff. This gun's probably not going to cycle that for the first 200 or 300 rounds through it. After that, I don't think you'll have a problem with it. I'm still about 200 rounds in on this gun, and I've loosened the spring up and it'll shoot 6s. they say like anything 1,250 feet per second and up, it'll cycle. So that's kind of when I buy rounds for it, that's what I base off of. And every now and then I'll try a light load to see if it's cycle them yet, and it eventually will. There's not a doubt in my mind it will eventually, but you just got to break it in. And I don't shoot thousands of rounds of shotguns every year, but that's just me. I believe it will break in, and I read a lot of guys having trouble with the action. It's double feeding, and it won't pull the. You got to learn how to shoot a smart gun before you knock the gun. I mean, people aren't understanding that it's what it is. I guess online I've read like on Sniper's Hide and different places. There's guys not like newbies on there, not the guys that run it and stuff, but they're not understanding that it is a smart shotgun, and do your homework on that before you buy one. But anyway, I've had lots of luck with it, shot a lot of pigs with it. It's freaking a fun little gun. 18.5 bench barrel, comes with this door breacher. I did have one problem with this front sight. I had to screw the screw back in there. It got loose. Put a little thread tie or Loctite on there and threaded it back on. No big deal. Just one of those things, I guess. Not a cheaply made shotgun though. I mean, everything's metal. There's very little to gripe about on this